Tap, tap, tap. Is this thing on? Excellent. Can you hear me at the back? Yes, good. Okay, cool. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Happy 2020. And welcome to London DevOps Meetup number 50. We didn't forget it like somebody else, no. So, who's been to every one of those 50 meetups? Have you really, Jack?
Liar. Liar.
Wise.
I think I've missed 2 or 3. I think we've all missed 2 or 3 in the organising committee along the way. Yeah. So I don't think any of us have actually can claim that crown. But it's something we're very pleased to have achieved. Bit of a milestone, 50 events. Some of these events, when we organise them, it takes Herculean efforts. Some of them run smoother, and to have got to 50 without too many more grey hairs is a bit of an achievement. Do you want to go into that, Mark?
So, who here doesn't know what DevOps is? Anyone?
The gentleman in the front there.
That's the right question. That's the right answer. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Who's using all these tools?
At the same time?
Every single one of
time.
them. Yeah.
Yes.
Who's heard of all of these tools? What's that? Does somebody need the toilet? Yeah. I've used this one. Okay, so we're here to talk about DevOps. It's not just about tools. It's about people, process, technology, building a culture. If you implement even a subset of those tools on the previous slide and hope that your organisation will be transformed to be DevOps, then it's not going to happen. There's my favourite definition of DevOps. Are we all sick of this definition yet? No? No? Okay. We'll stick with it. Well done, Ken. Thank you for that. Brilliant. Culture where people, regardless of title or background, work together to develop, I like that, develop, deploy and operate a system. That's why we're kind of here, isn't it? People, processes and technology, that kind of makes up the triumvirate of things there. Next. So what we're doing here, who's here for the first, who's not been to London DevOps before? Okay, I want you all to leave the room now, watch the videos from all 49 previous meetups, just so you know where we are, so you can catch up. No, in all seriousness, it's really great that we see new people here every single time. New people, old guard combined is brilliant. So thank you for coming. This is our code of conduct. It is a serious thing. I'm going to leave it up there for a moment, just for you to read. We have had to invoke the code of conduct just once. Don't want to have to do it again. Is that long enough?
Yeah, I think so. Cool.
Cool. So meetup organisers, there's me and Mark here at the front. Still looking as handsome as however many years ago those pictures were taken.
Yeah.
See me later. We're also ably helped by Jack and Alex, who are around somewhere. Jack's over there, and Alex is right here.
Just right here in front.
Right here. So this team been together since the start in 2014. So that's 50 meetups without us all killing each other, which is miraculous. But in seriousness, couldn't do it without everyone else. So thank you. Cool. So so it's a meetup. We're social. If you can get any sort of signal in this room, I'm afraid public Wi-Fi is a little bit hard to come by in here. But if you can, then please tweet us out with the hashtag London DevOps. You have these two folks in the front row generally win the competition to get the most tweets out. So if you can beat them, then you'll be doing well.
And by win, we mean that they are the only two that do that.
It would be really great if you could tweet Deloitte Cloud as well. Noted.
Deloitte Cloud as well, so please do that. Cool. So speaking of Deloitte, we're here hosted by Deloitte, and Michelle's going to say a couple of words.
So I'm really, really excited to be hosting the 50th meetup of the London DevOps Group. I joined Deloitte about 7 months ago. I'm a director in our cloud engineering team, and Deloitte is traditionally known as a tax or an audit company. We're out there advising people on how to get their tax returns in. Actually, it's not true. I've joined really excited about the technical capability in the cloud engineering team and our focus on cloud migration and modernisation. Of course, we are really focused on advising our customers from a business perspective, but we have a really strong technical team behind us. We provide everything from cloud managed services through to, cloud strategy. And Artie, one of my colleagues who sits in the cloud engineering team, is going to talk a little bit about what we're talking to our customers about in terms of DevOps. Now, we can talk technical, but you're all here to do that, and you hear that every day. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the challenges of our customers who think they can just buy DevOps and then it's done. So I'll hand over to, who am I handing over to?
To me.
I'll hand back over. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. Cool. So I do the next bit?
So we wouldn't be here without the sponsors, and I would say Prism Digital has the privilege to be the only sponsor who has been here from the beginning, from day one, and they're still operating, which is also quite a success.
Well done, Alex.
and Alex is not a billionaire yet, but working on it. But yeah, if you want a new role that is not at Deloitte, so if you want a new role at Deloitte, please speak with the Deloitte people. Otherwise, you can always speak with Alex about getting a new role. We are also sponsored by Adaptavist. That it's a company that does, I would say, so who here uses Jira, Confluence? Okay, keep your hand up if you actually like it. No? Maybe. So Adaptavist is one of the biggest integrators of Jira and Confluence, and they actually make it suck less, which is incredible, because it's really, really hard to make it suck less. We're also sponsored by Shape. Jax works at Shape. It's a consultancy, so if you need a consultancy, so if you're not looking to hire someone and you need someone to come in and save the day and then go out as fast as they came in, Shape's for you. And we're also sponsored by O'Reilly. I have no books with me today, I'm sorry to give away, because I just heard that I actually have to ask for the books now. So whenever I order them, I will bring some books.
So, meetup's coming soon. So, on the 4th of March, over at Sainsbury's, Cloud Native London is going on. Cheryl's meetup, always highly recommended. And London Continuous Delivery happens on the 17th over at WeWork. A little bit further into the future, on the 19th, Doxlon runs in Barcelona.
Barcelona, actually.
Are you going to that one? You're organising that one?
I'm not only going, I'm actually speaking at that one.
There you go. So, why are you not speaking at this meetup?
It's a special one on fintech in Barcelona. For any reason, if you're in Barcelona and you're not on the beach drinking sangria, I know that's a big if, then feel free to join us. It's very nice. It's run by the same people that run Doxlon as well. And I said, it's a lot of fun, and we normally do drinks afterwards, so we end up in the most ridiculous places drinking. So it's up to you. If you want to come have some fun, go for it.
Sounds great. Speaking of Doxlon, I think Doxlon just announced the 25th of March as well.
25th, yeah.
So that's over at the O2 as some conference or something going on over there, which they're doing the evening track on. So that's happening. And then our very own Docker London, hosted as always by Dom, is happening on the 24th as well. Where's that?
Capital One.
Capital One.
Yes.
Yep, cool. On the 24th of March.
It's a birthday special.
Docker's birthday, yeah?
The 7th.
7th birthday.
7th birthday, wow.
Amazing. Cool. I'm going to go off the slides in a minute because Bob's here, also Dom's here, cool. Organisers of DevOps Days London.
Yeah.
Bob said it would be all right if he spoke because everything's run by Dom.
You're here. You
So,
do it.
so Bob, bring Bob onto the stage, thanks.
Hi, so I'm one of the organisers of DevOps Days London, as is Dom down there. We are obviously doing it again this year, as those of you who were there last year would know. The ticket sales went on live today. The super early bird price, very reasonable, £99. The other tickets are £149, £199 and £299. If you're from an underrepresented group in tech, we also have some free tickets. Please do go use them. Our CFP is also open for the next 3 months. It has been open for the last month, but so please submit talks as well. We do like to have local talks from local people. And indeed, Dom will be very happy if any of you want to sponsor us as well. So that's Dom's main responsibility. I'm doing the CFP, so we're all doing ticket sales. So yes, if you want to sponsor Devil Safe London, please email us and go to our website. If you go to devopsdays.london, you should end up at our current site on the devopsdays.org website. Thank you much.
All right, so I'll make you move a little bit more. So raise your hand if you like having friends. Yeah? Okay, raise your hand if you like going to meetups with friends. Yeah? So if you, for any reason, don't have friends that go to meetups, that can happen. You can join Meetup Mates. So Meetup Mates, the objective that they have is that they do pre-meetup gatherings for people that don't feel like going alone to meetups, or they feel too nervous about going alone to meetups, which we've all been there. We've all been going to a new meetup and feeling slightly awkward and nervous about it. So if you want to join them, just go to meetups.mates.com. And I said they organize always pre-gatherings before meetups. It's very nice. They go to a local pub, and it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Who went to Meetup Mates this evening? There's a few people. Yeah, yep, cool. Megan's here from Technovo. Organised that tonight, so thank you, Megan. Speak to her. Speak to Dommy. Speak to any of us if you want to know more about Meetup Mates.
Cool. So in case you like watching IT videos on YouTube on your free time for any reason, we have the videos of most of our previous events in YouTube. So if you just look for London DevOps, you can watch them. You can do 100% of the comments so far and complain about the sound quality of the videos. It's fine. I won't take it personally, but I know where you live.
He takes it personally.
But yeah, I would say we have most of them there. There's maybe some.
It's a good collection of stuff.
Yeah. So I would say it's a very good collection, and it also shows how much DevOps has progressed in the last years.
Cool. So tonight we've got, well, actually, me and Mark are going to stay on stage a bit longer, sorry, and do a retrospective of those 50 events very briefly. But we're delighted to have Artie from Deloitte is going to talk about their cloud transformation in a few minutes' time. And then following on from that, Manuel from Containers is going to talk about routing for microservices with some of the cool stuff that they've got that Containers have got out there in the wild. So
we're going to do now a very small retrospective of how we started, where London DevOps came from. So I think that's fairly accurate. So yeah. So Matt and I,
Which one am I?
You're the tall one, of course.
Cool. Okay, yeah, I'm happy with that.
That's
cool.
obvious. So Matt and I, we met 11 years ago now.
About 11 years ago.
We worked at the startup.
Dating.
Yeah, at the dating startup.
No, not like that.
Yeah.
Social dating, video dating.
Video dating startup, which was very, very fun. But we kept in touch afterwards. And we both, for some reason, got into DevOps and got into automation and operations at a very early stage. And then I would say The Guardian started running an event in 2013, I think it was.
It's a bit earlier than that, I think it was, but not by much.
More or less, which was called London DevOps, and it was an internal Guardian event. The guys at The Guardian that run this, I think something happened at The Guardian at some point, IT-wise, and they decided to stop running it, and they asked for someone to take it over. So the conversation more or less went like this. So I saw that, and I went like, hey.
I was about to get on a plane at this point, I think.
Yeah, and then I think you replied at this point.
I'm like, what does he want?
And I just said, literally, the guys at The Guardian have dropped London DevOps. Do you feel like organizing something? And he just said, yeah, sounds fun. So we literally took over something that The Guardian was running internally, and we tried to focus it more towards the community and make sure that we covered that space where everybody could come and have a place, not only where they could learn things, but also they could speak, and they could, I would say, speak locally and speak to their peers and be able to start that way into the speaking circuit as well. The next thing that we did is that we needed sponsors, but lucky for us, there were these guys called Alex and Jack that were asking us every 5 minutes if we wanted a new job. And then we we can. Yeah, no, they're nice people. So we talk with them, and we're like, hey, we're organizing this. Do you want to sponsor? Pay for drinks and pizzas with all your very, very fat money that you get from hiring people like us? And they were like, yeah, definitely. So what we did then is that we took out MS Paint and we created the initial version of the website. So yeah, the original one that was started by The Guardian was founded, it says here, 8th of January 2013, but we took this over in summer of 2014. By then, I would say not that many people knew about DevOps in general, not that many. I know you did, Bob, but not that many.
Bob invented it.
So yeah, there was a lot of people that came to the events and saying, I don't know anything about this, so I come to learn more.
And so we had this one at Just Eat. In hindsight, the amount of effort that we put in and the things that we were panicking about, the things that we worried about, and the emails that we sent flying around trying to get this event off the ground, seems rather disproportionate. But we launched to great acclaim at Just Eat over, not very far from here actually, is it? Over in Fleet Place, with the help of, it was Benny, wasn't it? Benny Johnson.
Yeah.
Helped us organise that. We invited our old CTO, Nick Ferrier. Who's met Nick Ferrier? Yeah, sure. Very interesting human, very, very, very quiet, well-mannered, never swears.
Yeah.
And he spoke at the first meetup. It's one of your friends from Red Hat, wasn't it? It's very different.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Alex, I think it was,
Yeah.
at the first meetup. So there's us. Look at them, they look young.
Yeah.
Look at that haircut. Look at that lack of beard.
So full of hope.
Look at my chin. Don't look at my chin. So we had a first event. It was great. We kind of went from there. So, the challenges. Number one challenge, I'm sure anybody else who organises a meetup will agree with this. Go on. Yep. Venues. They're either too big, they're too small. You need to sort out things like welcoming people to host, people to welcome people, sorting out catering, sorting out AV. We've had horror stories on every single one of those things in the last 5 years. That was one of our finest hours over there. Anyone know where that is? Facebook, yeah. Who's been to the Facebook meetups? Anyone been to those? Yeah, absolutely fantastic. They pulled out all the stops for us. Again, it's like what?
The sliders were great.
The sliders were fantastic, weren't they? Really, really good. And the Facebook event is indicative of what we try and do with maybe half of the meetups that we do every year, which is to go out to somebody who is well renowned in the industry, know what they're doing, or want to advance knowledge of themselves and have great venues. That was really, really good. We did, I think, 6 events with Facebook, wasn't it, in total? We did that.
Yeah, we've done 6. I would say, just to add to that, the amount of times that you almost have to become a lawyer and understand the requirements for accessing a building and NDA waivers and similar things in order to be able to host a public event, it's staggering. I didn't expect any of that. Oh yeah. I'm sure Deloitte sees that 10 times fold. But
I remember that actually. We got, I think we were like about 3 weeks before the first event we did, and then we got word that they wanted everyone to sign an NDA. And we're kind of like, it's a meetup. You're sharing information and knowledge. And the whole idea is that you bring people in, that you tell them what you're doing so that A, you look good, and B, they learn something. And you want everyone to sign an NDA. And we almost ended up cancelling that meetup because of that. Until we realised what they actually meant, which was actually an NDA waiver. The whole thing was that if you came into Facebook, has anybody ever interviewed or had a meeting at Facebook or anything like that? Yeah, a few people, you go in, it's arduous, and you do have to sign an NDA. What they actually wanted was to be able to get everyone on their NDA waiver list so that everyone didn't have to sign an NDA. So several grey hairs later, we're like, yes, exactly. Thank you for the sound effect. That's exactly what we did. Yes, few.
Yeah, and starting, I would say, we we didn't know anything about NDAs or NDA waivers at all, so we were literally panicking.
Literally panicking around the room. But yeah, all of these things, too big, too small, it's a nightmare. We don't know how many people are going to turn up. Great thing about Meetup is that you can organise events that people don't have to pay for. The bad thing is that people can see an event that's organised and think, oh, I've not paid for that. I'm actually down the pub with my colleagues and I'm enjoying that more, so I won't bother going to the Meetup. So how many people are going to turn up? We don't know. We had this at Just Eat, didn't we? And somehow it just kind of fitted beautifully. So yeah, too big, too small. Catering, I just remembered the thing at Google Campus. Do you remember we went to Google Campus?
Oh yeah,
And
the beers.
The beers.
Oh god, yes.
Yeah.
That was fun.
And we found out about half an hour before the event that Google Campus doesn't allow alcohol to be served unless you bought it from their own cafe. And who was it who was the straight man? Was it me? Because I think the person who was organised it from Google Campus told one of us that alcohol wasn't allowed. You came up and said, oh, no, you can't have alcohol. Clear away the alcohol.
I think they've told me, and before I was able to tell you, Jack and Alex already served all the alcohol.
Yeah, those two, yeah. It's like, oh, sorry, we didn't know. Sorry. So yeah, the list of questions that we end up having to ask gets longer and longer and longer.
Oh yes.
So, does anybody want to volunteer to be a host with London DevOps? Please do, please do. Seriously though, we get, we kind of know what we're doing now, and we know what we want, but we're still short of venues, so please help us with venues. Speakers. So our big thing with speakers was that we didn't want sales pitches.
Yeah.
I think we can all go to paid-for conferences where that sort of thing happens, and you get a demo of some software, maybe some tenuous use case, and pay for the privilege.
Yeah, and we had people that normally what we do is that we always say to speakers, like, this shouldn't be a sales pitch, this should be something that people can take home with them and learn something about. And even with that, some of the speakers that try to come up, it was like, yeah, of course, I'm going to teach them everything about how to do all of this with my product. It's like, well, that's actually a sales pitch. No, really, they can use my product and do it. It's like, that's still a sales pitch.
I just realised, are we being a bit passive-aggressive towards one of our speakers tonight who is from a vendor?
No
worry.
pressure, Manuel. It's
Thank
fine.
God. It'll be fine. Don't worry. It'll be fine.
That'll be added to some slides.
Yeah.
Too long. People going too long. Is it? Sometimes speakers come up short, and we're like, "Oh, that was a bit brief." Is everyone going to be upset? But I think going too long's worse, isn't it? I can see some people falling asleep.
I think the record was 50 minutes for a 25-minute talk.
What?
Yeah.
50 minutes.
Yeah. So
Was that when you didn't have your cards?
Yeah. That's why I have cards over there that I try to show to people, like 10 minutes left. And yeah, I think this person decided to ignore all of them and just kept going. So and we do that because we know that people can, I would say, the focus of attention, it's very difficult to keep after 30 minutes unless you have some kind of pause or some break in between. So that's why we normally try to keep it up to 30 minute stops.
And we're at 24 minutes 47.
Yeah, we almost there.
Wake up! Too crazy. I noticed, Mark, you've chosen a picture of my esteemed colleague John Turley for Too Crazy. Any link there?
No.
Telling stories.
No, that was actually a very good one. But in that same meetup, I think we had a crazy one.
Oh, we did, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Is that the dinosaur costume?
No, that was Ivan. I think this one was about how to be an ops person in a non-DevOps organization, and ended up talking about the New World Order.
Oh yes, that was down at Funding Circle. That was, wasn't it? Yes. Yeah, we've occasionally wished we could have a trapdoor on the stage.
No, but it's fun. No, it was really interesting.
It was interesting actually. Me and him were furiously texting each other on this, and I'm like, how do we get this guy off the stage? And he's like, it's fantastic.
It was
so we had some crazy. But the point is that we don't want just like well-established speakers who are very good at doing the speaking thing, which is entirely a good thing to have. But we also want people who are coming from the, from their jobs, having achieved good things and want to talk about it, maybe aren't actually that experienced at doing it. So crazy is actually all right.
Yeah, definitely. And I said, we are, in a way, an experimentation ground of sorts, because we want people to talk, we want people to share the message. And we're a safe place where you can start doing that. And I would say I extend that to all meetups, local meetups, where you can go and talk, and you don't have to have any previous experience about talking at a meetup or anything else. But if you really want to start going up there and doing these, it's the best way to practice. Get yourself comfortable, and once you get there, then you can start going to conferences and things like that. So in a way, we always try to welcome everyone and anyone that wants to talk.
It's an interesting proposition, but where do you draw the line between one trying to increase brand awareness and sales pitch?
I would say
It's a gray area. Just as you've advertised.
it's a very good question. For me, the difference is that you should be able to do whatever technical thing they say in the talk without that product. If you're able to do that, then it's not a sales pitch anymore. You're explaining something, you might reinforce that product as well. But you should be able to do or learn something that doesn't require having the product with you.
And no, we don't always get it right.
Cool.
So yeah, the world has changed as well. 2014 seems like a long time ago. Yeah, indeed. Technology, all these things got invented in 2014, 2015. Many of them we see there are now parts of everyone's day-to-day lives. And when we started, these things didn't exist. So yeah, lots and lots have changed. I remember when we started off doing this, there was an underlying way of doing things technologically, which would have involved configuration management tools using Puppet and Chef, Ansible, those sort of things, spinning up EC2 instances. And now the world's changed and everyone's talking about containers and serverless, right?
Yeah, and the funny thing is that Ansible didn't even exist when we started.
What didn't exist?
It didn't exist, Ansible, yet. When we started,
Did it not?
It was CF Engine, Chef, and Puppet.
God, we're so old, so old. But the point is, none of this stays still for long. I think any of us who have been around for more than a few years will know that it's not an industry you can just come in and train in a load of technology and then be set up for life. The world is changing, moving very, very fast. And we're hoping that we're keeping up the pace with that technological change. But of course, it's not all about technology, as I've already said 3 times tonight. Mark, do you want to talk through this?
Yeah, I would say the most interesting thing, and what I get most of London DevOps normally is when people come and share the human stories, when they share the way they handled something, the ways they can cope with burnout, the ways they can cope with being on call, make sure that on call is not something stressful. And as I said, because at the end of the day, all these technologies are here to help us, but the human factor is the most important thing. Yeah,
and we see that in some of the speakers we get in, and maybe bring back a few times. Like there's Hannah's slides up there. Who knows Hannah? Yeah, Hannah's great. Yeah, obviously, Bob does. And people like Hamed from IG, who came back 2 or 3 times talking about the journey that they went on. And that gave us a couple of things that we didn't have before. Number one was it's okay to not be at the end of the story. If you're not at the end of the story, then come back and tell the rest of it later. And number 2, it's okay to fail. I think we've all learnt far more from our own screw-ups than the things we get right. And having people brave enough to come up on stage and tell us about those things, especially when it's about process and people. It's not just that you've written a few lines of code that screwed something up and you've changed it and it's all worked. It's changes that people have made, maybe in team structures that have affected people's lives, and they maybe not got them right, and they come back and tell us how they fixed it, got themselves to a better place. That's it. Thank you for listening to us waffle on. 50 events.